Hello, my name is Chris with the Doctors Who Read Stuff, and today we're going back to our roots. We are going to be talking about the Doctor Who Time Lord Victorious arc. Stay tuned. So, Time Lord Victorious is supposed to be a massive story, and it's supposed to combine the Ninth Doctor, the 10th Doctor, the 8th Doctor. I think 13 is in on this at some point as well. And it is supposed to encompass all these different types of media. You've got comic books, you've got I think they're doing a themed escape room in London. I think there is some comic strips in the Doctor Who magazine, and Big Finish Audio, which is amazing because they give you these audio dramas, these audio adventures, and they get, David Tennant back, and they get Billy Piper, and they get Catherine Tate, and they get Paul McGann. Paul McGann does a lot of these as well, and it's great because you get to continue the adventures of some of your favorite doctors, and some of those like 8 that we really don't know that much about. And they even announced earlier this year that Christopher Eccleston would be doing some of the audio dramas as well. Now, this is a big deal because after Christopher Eccleston left Doctor Who after that first season, he was so jaded by that entire experience that he didn't want anything to do with Doctor Who or the BBC again. I think he, over the course of the last couple of years, has attended some conventions and has really been moved by the outpouring of support and the love that the fans have given him. So for him to come back and agree to be involved with Doctor Who again is a big deal. But Time Lord Victorious is supposed to kind of span all these different media to tell this large overarching story. And so what I have here is I have from Titan Comics, this is the first comic, 01 right there. And this tells the story of the 10th Doctor. He wakes up in his TARDIS, and he can't remember why he's here or how he got here or anything like that. And he goes somewhere, and the Daleks are waiting for him. So he jumps back in his TARDIS, and he goes somewhere else, and the Daleks are waiting for him. Everywhere he goes, the Daleks are waiting for him. And eventually, we learn that the Daleks need his help. Now, when I read this, and I would have to go back and look at it again, but it almost seems like he is the only one with any knowledge of the Time War. So we have a couple things in play here. The Daleks are afraid of something enough to ask the Doctor for help. There may or may not have been a great Time War, which means, well, a lot of things, right? So that means that Gallifrey was never destroyed or encapsulated in a pocket dimension or whatever you choose to subscribe to. But what we don't know is how this plays into this bigger threat. So the Daleks, the threat that they're afraid of, are called the Hond, H-O-N-D. And they are so afraid of this threat that they are willing to let the Doctor basically orchestrate their entire defense strategy, give them access to this vault that even the Daleks are afraid to go into. So it's really interesting. The Daleks say all should tread cautiously in the Vault of Obscenities, which is where they're taking him. He asked to see their greatest weapons, right? And so they're taking him to the Vault of Obscenity, and that, if that's not foreboding, I don't know what is. But yeah, the author, so Jody Hauser, Roberta Ingranata, Erica, Aaron Angiolini. They've done a good job of kind of capturing the 10th Doctor's mannerisms. The art style, I don't have screenshots, but I can kind of do this. So the art style is typical of a comic, right? You can tell it's 10. You can obviously tell the Daleks. The story flows well. It makes me very curious to know where episode 2 is going to pick up, and how 9 and 8 and other people from Doctor Who mythology are going to pop up in this thing. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be a lot of fun. I don't recall there being an endeavor like this, something that kind of spans so many different types of entertainment. And I think it's a challenging strategy for Doctor Who and for the BBC, because comic books are one thing. Comic book fans will buy comic books. But now you're telling them that not only do they have to go buy their comic books, but they have to pop over and they have to pick up this Doctor Who magazine. And they have to go shell out 40, 60, $70 for an audio drama, and they might have to do that for 3 or 4 audio dramas. So I think the strategy's a little risky, because you're forcing people to pop between mediums, some of which are a lot more expensive than the others. Is this ultimately going to pay off? I think so. I think it's a great strategy to tell a story. I think it is, just by the very nature of never having been tried, I think it's going to pique interest, like it piqued mine. I'm not a huge comic book guy. I've been looking at the Big Finish audio stuff, and I've been saying, man, I really should just jump into this. But again, you go out and you look at the price point. $40 for an audio drama. That's kind of a tough sell. Even though you're getting David Tennant, you're getting Billy Piper, Catherine Tate, Paul McGann, soon to be Christopher Eccleston. I mean, even Tom Baker's done these things. I mean, so you're getting the top tier voice talent here. You're getting the Doctor as you remember hearing them. But you're talking about that kind of money, and it's a lot harder to bite that off, right? So yeah, I don't know. I'm committing to you now. I'm going to see this thing through to completion. So I'm going to do the audio dramas. I'm going to do the comic books. If I can find the strips in the magazine, I will do that. However, I will tell you right now, I am not going to travel to the UK to experience the escape room. I'm sorry, but I'm not that much of a completionist. So, if I recall correctly, the second episode of this comic is out in October, which is not too far away. So once I get that in my hands, have a chance to read it, I will be back with you talking about that. If you have read this, if you have experienced some of the other things that Time Lord Victorious has to offer, I invite you to pop into the comment section. Tell me what I've missed. I will go find it. Tell me what you've liked. Tell me what you didn't like. Do you think this is a risky strategy? I think it might be. But ultimately, you don't get the reward without a little bit of risk. So I think this is a good play. I hope it works out. I hope it goes as smoothly as everyone at Doctor Who and the BBC hopes it will. To be frank, it's a little confusing trying to figure out what's coming out when and where it's going to be available and how you consume it. But I guess that's part of the adventure. So, if you like this, please click the like button. We invite you to subscribe. We're also doing reviews of other books. Chip just did one for Brave New World. I've done some on some old Star Trek serial novels. We're also doing a deep dive discussion into Dune. We've also done Mistborn. We've also done Name of the Wind. So there's a lot of content on our channel that might interest you. We invite you to subscribe. We invite you to click the bell for notifications. And we look forward to seeing you next time. As Brian would say, but since he's not here, I'll unzee.